Hi all, it's Kelly from Loch Briar Knits. Welcome to episode 9 of the podcast. It is another rainy Saturday in Nova Scotia, Canada, where I'm from. I live here with my husband and my golden retriever who just decided to get up off the floor and wander around a little bit. So I've got my setup a little differently today. Tommy over at Squirrel Pie Productions sets her camera and computer up on an ironing board, which was way better than what I was using. But I just realized that it's probably also easier for the dog to topple over, so hopefully he makes no sudden movements. So, Cedar, you want to down? Yeah, he's just looking at me like, no. No, not so much. I think I'm going to walk over and see what you've got on top of here. Okay, anyway. No. Yeah, no. Sorry. It's a great intro so far. Okay. There he goes. He wanders off. Sorry. If you're a returning viewer, welcome, and you're probably used to my fantastic intros. If you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. If you're a new viewer, welcome. I hope you enjoy the podcast and come back again. Would really appreciate it if you guys like it. If you can give it a thumbs up down in the, over there. Anyway, down here somewhere. It kind of helps get the word out. And we do have a little bit of administration because we had a giveaway. But first, I'll tell you where you can find me. Here, clearly. This is the part I always stumble over. So, there's a Ravelry group for the podcast, Loch Briar Knits. Check it out. It's like that, very demanding. Check it out. That's where I keep all my show notes. It's where we do giveaways. There's, any kind of chat that's going on. If we, anything for the podcast, that's probably where you're going to find it. Also, I'm on Ravelry as Loch Briar as well. So there's my page, and then there's the page for the podcast. What else? Facebook and Etsy, Loch Briar Knits. The Etsy shop is where I sell my hand-dyed yarns. And I've only had one cup of coffee this morning, and it's only 10 o'clock. So, in my defense, I should have had 2 cups of coffee. So where else am I? Instagram. Instagram is probably where I'm the most active, and that's Kelly L. Boyce, because I've been trying to set up a separate one for Loch Briar Knits, and for some reason it will not let me do it, and I cannot figure out why. So we're sticking with the Kelly L. Boyce. That's where you'll find me there. And that's also where I'm at on Twitter, but I'm hardly ever on Twitter. I think that's it. Instagram, Twitter, Ravelry, Facebook, Ravelry group. We're good. So welcome to episode 9. We are off to a raring start, and once again, I've got the rogue hair strand falling in my eyeballs. So clearly it's time to get a trim. I'm just putting it off because I'm trying to grow it out. You know how when you're trying to grow your hair out, and until it kind of gets to a certain length, you really don't want to cut it because then it's just going to feel like it's short again and you lost all this traction. Anyway, yay. I do have something to drink. It's tea. I should probably... Also, I'm going to apologize. This top, in retrospect, was maybe not the smartest choice because it's a little loose. So if there's any sort of gratuitous boob shots, my apologies. So I'm not drinking out of my shop on the corner mug. I needed something a little bigger today, so I have this bad boy. I love this one. I have kind of a matching one that's all purple, but it blended with my shirt, so I went with the green. And I'm drinking my regular lemon thriller tea, which is like literally it's from the superstore. If you're in Canada, you know what I'm talking about. Just the grocery store brand lemon tea. and it's my favorite. It's my favorite because it's nice and lemony, and a lot of them aren't. And I'm like, don't call yourself lemon and then not be lemony. That's just disappointing. That's all I'm saying. So I'm also dehydrated today, and I don't know why. Because with all the rain, I forgot to light my candles. Too late now. You put that there. Okay. Sorry. I take a break. I'll go find the lighter. I had it here, and my husband took it to light the barbecue. Anyway, so we had to give away last podcast for PomPom magazine. So this was the 5th anniversary edition of their premiere issue. So I guess they updated it and all that good stuff. So one lucky viewer is going to get this, and also a skein of my hand-dyed yarn. And this is one that's not in the shop. It's one that I did last weekend. And this is called Princess and the Pea. Let me just see how well. So this is whites and bright spring greens and nice pinks. So this is Princess and the Pea. So I drew the random number generator, which I had to do a couple times because it kept landing on me because I answered. The prompt was, what was your most memorable vacation? And I was kind of commenting on people's vacations. So I had to do it a couple times because I already have my copies of these. And now it's time for you to take one home. So when I finally landed on somebody that wasn't me, it was number 4, Try Linda. So congratulations, Try Linda. Just give me, if you pop over to my Loch Briar page on Ravelry, you can email me and just tell me where you would like me to send these goodies. And there might also be a couple of other little things in there, little surprises. So let me know where to send it. And congratulations, this is my first giveaway. It was fun. I like giving stuff away. I have some stuff. Now I don't know where to put this because, all right. K9 is back. He's sacked out on the floor, just eyeballing me. So that's all for administration. I have my notes here and they're only half filled in. So this is going to be a fun day. I'm just going to grab my glasses too, because you know what? At some point I'm going to be like, and that's not a good look. It's not a good look. So yeah, giveaway. Oh, and Try Linda's her most memorable vacation. I can't talk this morning. Clearly, I need to go get some caffeine, I think. Her most memorable vacation was taking the kids to Disney World in Florida when they were young. And I have been to Disney World. We took my stepson to Universal when he was, I'm going to say, I'm trying to think. He was diagnosed with leukemia when he was just 5, I think. And that was 4 years of treatment. So I guess he would have been 10 because it was in the anniversary of his last treatment. We decided to take a trip to Universal. He's fine now. He's fine. He's about to turn 14 and teen years. So we took him to Florida. And that was one child. And any parent who takes any children, but if you're taking multiples to Disney World, because we have one part-time and I'm looking at the dog saying, this is why I have animals. I should probably edit that out. I don't have maternal instincts. I don't. That's it for administration. We are moving on to acquisitions. You know what? I was actually I was actually pretty good. I'm going to put this somewhere I can grab it quickly. Because I really didn't go hog wild. That's a bit of a lie. I didn't go any more hog wild than I usually did, but some of the stuff I ordered and it's not in yet. So you'll get to see that next time because I went on to the French Supply Company website. It was hard to decide what to get. I knew that I wanted one of their bags. But then they had all these other little things. I didn't know that. I went there, and I also was on another website. Prairie Dye. I want to say Prairie Dye Works, and I'm not sure if Works is the right one. I'll look it up and I'll put it under here. But she had some great Canada Day bags, and it was Canada's 150th birthday. I think it was my last podcast. I think it was on my last podcast. It was on July 1st. No, maybe not. I think I did the day before. I did the shop update on the July. Anyway, let's move on to acquisitions because those acquisitions you're not going to see until next time. Okay, I'm going to get the noisy stuff out of the way first. So I dropped it on the floor. I got the Stitcher's GPS. Here we go. Wait. So this is basically removable things to put on your patterns to hold your place. And I think it's like see-through. I assume it's see-through with it. Oh no, that goes underneath. I don't know what the ruler's for. Anyway, and then there's like little pink dots here. So yeah, I think this one, anyways, this one you can peel off and then put it over your pattern. The other ones you can put underneath, and I don't know what the ruler's for, or little markers, little dots you can probably put right next to it. Anyway, I got some of those because when I'm trying to follow a pattern, I keep losing my place. Oh yeah, there's pink ones too. I thought I saw some more pink ones in there. So I thought I'm just going to pick those up, and they weren't super cheap. Well, they weren't that bad. I think they were like $8, which if they're as restickable as they say they are, that's great. That's fine. They'll last a while. If they're not, somebody's going to be a little PO'd. The other thing I did was I picked up some more patterns. Because I just needed, I don't know, no, you know what, I didn't need, but I wanted, and I don't have them all here, but I do have a couple of them here. I got the Dotted Rays, Stephen West. I bought like 3 Stephen West ones. I got the Eyeball Shawl, the Dotted Rays, I forget what the other one was. But yeah, so I went a little bit of a Stephen West bender. I picked up the Melody Shawl, and this, see, that's why I had them handy. Annah Burnes. That's sort of the idea. I don't know if that comes out very clear. I'll put I got these both off of Ravelry. They were paid patterns. The Melody Shawl is Annah Burnes, and then of course Stephen West. But I got some other ones too. I don't remember what I did with them. Well, that was okay. Moving on. I also decided to start making some stitch markers. This is going to be a little noisy, and which reminds me, speaking of noisy, I found my last episode the sound wasn't very good, and I'm still kind of playing around with the sound on the edits. So bear with me. I think I'm gonna splurge and get myself a proper microphone, because even though they said the one on the camera here, you don't need it, I find that it's still a little tinny sounding. Anyway, so I'm going to try to flip these around without stitch markers. So these are my first shot. I had a little bit of a nautical theme going on in some respects. Of course, I've got the little dog paw there. And then I also had a turtle and a mermaid, but those are going out with some Cal Prize giveaways that I'm sending off. Not for my Cal, other people's Cals. So yeah, so that's, and I ended up, I really enjoyed making these. It was a lot of fun. I'm going to put them down because they're really kind of noisy. So I went out and I got some beads and some more charms and supplies and stuff so that I'll make some more. And I went to Michael's, which I really haven't been doing lately. I popped in there because I was looking for some of the beading stuff. And my sewing has not happened yet. But I saw this batch of material. There's the first one, but you can kind of see, like, when I flip it over here, all these like lovely shades of like blues with like nice little patterns on them. And I don't know what I'm gonna make out of it, but it's actually it's really nice material. Let's see if it says in here, like I would know. It's a fabric bundle. It's a lot de tissus. 100% cotton. Do not pre-wash. Don't worry. So, even if I don't make, I've got like some other little squares like that, and I think I'll practice on the other ones first and then maybe save this for something else, and I don't know what. I eventually want to be able to make project bags, but that's a little further down the road because, you know, I'm not there yet. That's going to be down the road probably before I even make anything out of it, but I love those colors so much, I grabbed it. And then I got some yarn because why not? So I got some Maiden yarn, their Casbah line, and I love their yarn. I love it. The colors are just so crazy amazing that I don't know. Anyways, this one was the only one she had left, so she at my local yarn store, the Loop, so she was calling it the Orphan. And every time I'd go in there, I would pick it up and then I would put it down, and you know, because the handmade ones aren't exactly cheap. But I mean, look at the colors, the grays and the yellow, and it's so soft. It is, where's my breakdown? 80% merino, 10% nylon, 10% cashmere, which is my favorite blend. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to make out of it yet. I think I'm going to make myself a cowl out of this because it's just, I can just like, oh, it's so beautiful and I love it. So it's like, I wonder if it has, oh, it's called Bolt. Lightning bolt maybe? Gray skies, lightning bolts coming out of the gray skies. I don't know. But anyway, I love it. It's from like the Casbah, which I've got a couple of the other ones. So I got that. So it is no longer an orphan. It has a home. And then she still had a few of the, let's put that down there. She had, oh, almost gratuitous boob shot. Exhibitionist. The Yvie knits, she still had a few left over from the trunk show, and this was a singles one, singles base. And just get the ties out of the way there. I just loved the colors in it. It's like one of those ones where you pick up and then you don't want to put it down because it's good. There we go. purples and orange and greens, and it is gorgeous. So I've started to kind of pick up a collection of singles. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with them. I'm sure there is a shawl in my future that's going to have these incorporated. But for now, they're going in my collection. So that was Yvie Knits. And what was the color? Tapestry. Oh, that's perfect. So yeah, so that's Tapestry. And then the other one was I had ordered another one from Taylor over at Fiber for the People. And the color's kind of blowing out here, but this is her Hypercolor Shirt, and it's in her workhorse base, which is 75% merino, 25% nylon. So this is the fingering weight. And if you, I wish that wasn't blowing out so much, because the colors are like almost kind of, the green's almost a neon-y color in a way, but you're not, it's not really picking it up here. So, but anyways, that's going to be, I don't know if that's going to be a pair of socks for me or a pair of socks for somebody else. I owe my sister another pair of socks. We'll get to that. But that's it. I think that's it for acquisitions. Okay, I have a faux, and this should not be a surprise because I have been working on these forever. So these are my Spring Explosion socks. This was from the first skein of hand-dyed yarn I did. I did it in one pot, and it wasn't a full skein of yarn, which for any returning viewers, you've heard the story. I'd taken out enough to do a little mini in a different color because I was just trying to learn the process. So I have not been able to recreate this exact look. Anyways, I decided, my sister really liked it, so I said I'd do her a pair of socks out of it. And I meant to do the socks kind of more shorter, maybe like cut them off here, but I didn't. Apparently I just got a little happy when I was knitting and just lost track of where I was. So yeah, long story short, when I went to finish sock number 2, I ran out of yarn and I had to improvise. So Allison's socks are slightly mismatched. She's apparently quite thrilled with it because, you know, she too is a bit of an original, and nobody else will have a pair of socks quite like this. So this was my second attempt at trying to recreate this, and as you can tell, I was way off the mark. I had way more yellow and orange, and this has yellow and orange in it. Get that close here. But not this much. So my second attempt was a bit of a miss. Anyway, when I kind of was knitting this, I told her, I said, I'm not going to have enough to finish the toe. I'm going to have to improvise. And she was fine. She was like, just, you know, throw something else on there, whatever, do it. So I did it, and this is the end result. So anyway, this one was done on double pointed needles, my Knitter's Pride Carbons, and this one was started off on the Knitter's Pride probably till like about there, and that's when I switched over to magic loop because I just learned how to do the magic loop, and I was still just kind of learning. The toe on this one, let's see if I can show you, because God forbid I knit a sock and not screw something up. Here's what I was doing. I was watching a tutorial which had one pattern. I was knitting off of another pattern, which was just like for double pointed needles, and trying to figure out how, when you got kind of to this part, you were sort of knitting more this way. And then I didn't realize, oh shoot, I would have had to have turned it. So what I ended up with was the toe is a little off center, and see if you can see here, these here where I did the decreases were in the wrong place. But when you put it on, let's see if I can do this. You know, it's not too bad. It doesn't feel uncomfortable when you wear it. So I told Al they were ready, but she couldn't have them until after the podcast. So I'm just going to take these off the sock blockers now. And these are going to go to their new home 5 minutes away. She'll be happy to get them. I'll be happy to see them gone. All of my mistakes staring me in the face. So that's my faux. Yes, my faux. But I also have a hoe, because I went to town on the socks. I learned the magic loop, and I don't know, but I have apparently, I now need to knit all of the socks. All of them. This is my hoe. My first sock, I'm going to back this up again. Actually, hang on. This is actually, in the entire time, in my lifetime of knitting socks, the first sock I have knit without any mistakes. So this one doesn't quite fit on these sock blockers. I'm stretching it a little here, but yeah. So this was the first one I did in its entirety on the magic loop, from start to finish. I did the long tail cast on, so I have a much neater edge than my other ones here. See if I can show you. So this one is kind of much, yeah, I mean, really. So this one is much neater. You can kind of see. Back to my hoe. This is the Lavender Fields colorway. And this was one, I think this was like my second or third yarn that I dyed. So this is kind of my, it's a bit of a messy cake. So it's got all these like great flecks of color in it. I love how this is knitting up. These are going to be for me, which is why they don't fit on these sock blockers, because I've got small feet. So that is my faux hoe. Faux hoe. This is my hoe. Anyway, so that's gonna, this is the first, yeah, this is the first sock I have ever knit in magic loop from start to finish. This is also the first sock I have ever knit, period, in my lifetime that did not have a mistake in it. And I have probably just jinxed myself entirely. But I am telling you, the magic loop compared to knitting on DPNs for me, night and day, like it just flew. These ones I actually knit on, I'm really small print, forget it. I'm not even going to attempt to see that. These are the 2.25 US ones, 40-inch circ. Those are my Knitter's Pride carbons. And I love these. These are great because they have just enough grippage there that stuff's not sliding too much. So I did those. I knitted 56. No, I think I did 50. I cast on 56 stitches for these ones, and they fit. They're like a kind of a perfect fit because I like my socks a little snug, and these are literally like perfect. Like, I love them. I can't wait to wear them once I get the other one done. But I have figured out, for me at least, the secret to not having second sock syndrome is to have about 4, sorry, it's gonna be noisy, 4 pairs of socks on the needles in different stages of completion. And then you're always working on something kind of new and different. And as soon as you finish off one, you've still got the other 3 in different stages to do. But once you get a faux from your sock, then you cast on another one. And for me, it made it feel like I was always doing something kind of new and different. And it also, all of the ones I've got on the needles so far are all from my own yarns. So sock number 3, which is almost, well, it's not almost a hoe, because this is my Canada Day sock, which I showed you guys before. This one's being knit on my Addy Turbo Rockets, and I think I have 60 stitches on this. I think that's what I did. And so these have little flecks of black in them, but these are that was red and white, so I figured it's close enough. So I've got the heel kind of done, so I just have to do the pick up the stitches part now. So this is the first sock, and that's on my first version of Blackguard's Heart, which now the new version has a little less red and a little more black. And I don't know if I have it in here or not. I don't think I do. Oh, yes, I do. So this is kind of more what it looks like now. So that's Blackguard's Heart. It's not in the shop yet, though. I think that's probably gonna be maybe in the next one of the upcoming updates. And then so far none of the yarn I've showed you a lot of it was like first time tester, learn how to do the process kind of thing. This pair, however, is in the shop, on the yarn that's in the shop. So this is Forest and Sky. And the way I've kind of got the lights turned up here to combat the dreariness outside is blowing it out a little. But the blue is super vibrant, and the green is kind of like a sort of a medium soft mossy green. So that's Forest and Sky. So that's in the shop, and I think I've got it on 2 bases. The 75-25. I think I have an do I have that on MCN? BFL, sorry, I have it on the BFL base. So anyway, I love how this is knitting out. Remember, this is I just got a little past the cuff. So I love how it's kind of, I cast on 64 stitches for this one just because I'm doing it on the Knitter's Pride Carvons, but I'm using a US 0, so it's a much smaller. I don't want that clanging when I do this, but I don't know if I can show you here. But the stiff definition, get it this way. So you can kind of see the stiff definition is a lot like tinier stitches. So I love the way though that the design is kind of angling. So I think that'll make it for a really kind of cool design. So this is Forest and Sky. And this is all I've got done. I've just started this one. And I did start it with 56 without cluing in, oh no, you're on the US 0, the 2mm. That's going to be way too small. So I was kind of looking at the cuff going, it looks a little tight, even for me. So I frogged that and then I redid it. But when I was doing the 56 stitches, it was almost kind of straight across, stripey looking. But I have to say I like the little angled version better. So I'm really excited to see how these knit up. And that is it for the socks. 4 pairs of socks. I'm on a roll. I'm going to be the sock queen. And that is, I've got to show you the bags. This is what, I don't think I showed you guys this last time. This is my new bag from Mrs. Brown's Bags, which is Jody of the Grocery Girls, and I love it. It's such a perfect size. It's got the little kind of leather thing here, which I love. It makes it so much easier. Nice and roomy. Get all my jazz in there. Handle. So yeah, I did have a project bag to show you. And then what's the other? Oh, this is in my Longview. My Canada Day bag is in my, or my Canada Day sock is in my Longview Creations Retro Trailer 1 bag. And this one, which is my Forest and Sky. I really like this one because I carry my a bag with me to work, which has usually my gym clothes for the day, just like the top and the pants shoved in there, my lunch shoved in there, and then there's still enough room for this. And this is very bendable, so I can just like smush that up like that and shove it in as well. So it's great for carrying it back and forth and then trying to get a little stealth knitting time at the office. Now, I didn't do any work on my starting point cowl. I think I'm just going to set that aside for the moment. Maybe a month. We'll see. But I did start another shawl. And it is by Joji Locatelli. So that's in my Lumberjack Beaver bag from Longview Creations. Canadian Lumberjack Beaver bag. Yay! So this is the girl from the grocery store. So if any of you follow me on Instagram, you know that this project did not start off very well. I think I skipped a row. You have kind of 2 repeating rows to do your increases in the shaping. So I got to about, all my ends that need to be weaved in already. I got to about here, and instead of continuing to curve, suddenly it started curving this way. And at first I thought, well, that's really unique. And then but I don't remember seeing it in the picture. So I looked at the picture and realized I had screwed something up royally. So, and that was my second time doing that. So after that, I got a clue and I put a little stitch marker just right here so that I know anytime I start this row, it's the first row of the 2. And I know, you know, because I think what I did before was I forgot I was on the first row or the second row and I repeated it, or I skipped one, and then it just turned everything. So I'm knitting this in the main color. Well, there's two main colors, but I think you need 2 skeins of one and a smaller amount of the second one. So this is my Lichen and Lace, if I can get focus in here. So that's my Lichen and Lace, and this is in her Wildflowers color, which I love. Like, it's got all these really great colors. There's like greens. This looks blue here at my end. I don't know if it will at yours, but this is purple. Then there's some more purple here, and there's this lovely, almost like a, not teal, well, maybe teal, but very pale teal. Caribbean, I think I guess is what it reminds me of. So it's got all these really great. So this is it caked up. It's a bit of a neater cake than the other one, but I forgot to leave the middle strand out, so I'm kind of like constantly unwinding it that way, which is a little annoying and dumb on my part. But so then you have a contrasting color, which for me is this purple here. This one here, and this purple is literally almost identical. This purple is almost identical to, like, seriously, almost bang on. I don't know if you can tell from there, but to the purple that's here. So it picks that up really well. Hang on a minute. Purple I'm using is stuff that I have had in my stash for a while, and it's, let's see who makes it. Drops Design. So it is 100% alpaca. Look, alpaca, happy alpaca. And the purple is just, it really matches the one that's in the other one, the Lichen and Lace Wildflowers. So I had like, I think 3 balls of that, which is going to give me more than I'll need. So that's this right here. And so far, now that I'm kind of rocking along, I feel like I'm knitting loose, and I don't know if like, I feel like my gauge is kind of loose when I'm knitting this, and I'm wondering if maybe I should have gone down in needle size. It calls for the 4.5 US size 7. So, I mean, maybe this is what it's supposed to look like, but it just feels, I feel like I'm knitting a little loose. However, I'm not frogging this thing back one more time, so we're gonna go with it. Anyways, I'm going to enter this one, and I think 2, will be 3 of my socks. I think I can do 3 of the socks into my into the Grocery Girls Canada Day make along. They're doing a make along. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. And then because you have to have, I think, a pattern from a Canadian designer, Canadian yarns, or a Canadian theme. So I've got all of the yarns from my socks are from me, my yarn. So I'm Canadian, so that qualifies. And then my red and white ones are kind of my Canada Day socks, but they still have a little flecks of black in them, so I don't know if that's going to count. Anyway, this Lichen and Lace, she's a Canadian hand dyer. Sorry. Oh, coffee. So this will qualify if I can get it done, which I think I can because it's actually knitting up fairly quickly. So this was just, this here I did, oops, like this part I just did last night, which, you know, 3 attempts. And then this I just did in probably like half an hour or something this morning while I was waiting for my husband to wake up. And then, yeah, so I may be able to get that done because I think the cowl goes until August, end of August, end of August. So I'm enjoying that. Yeah, so that's it for WIPs. That's all that I've been working on. Like I have the simple lines and the starting point cowl over there. And I think they're just going to languish for a little while. So I'll pick them back up because I really want to finish the starting point cowl because I've seen other people's and it looks so lovely. But I'm really kind of regretting doing it on a smaller needle size. Now, I really wish I'd gone with maybe even like a 4 or 3.5. But I did it on I've got it going on a 2.75, I think. So I don't know if that's going to mess it up. Maybe once it blocks out, it'll kind of be, I don't need it as big as it was meant to be because I'm like 5'2", and I wanted to take it to wear at the office because our office is like a meat locker half the time. So I don't want it to be so long that it gets dragging on the floor and then I run my chair over it and it gets caught up in the wheels because that's happened. So we're going to move on to what's in the queue. I'm going to cast on a sweater this month. I'm not sure which sweater I was kind of thinking I'm going to do the Tin Can Knits because I have all of the yarn. The Flex Light one. But then I'm looking at the yarn and I'm thinking, I don't know if it's the right yarn. But then I'm thinking, no, I took the pattern with me to my local yarn store. And Mimi there looked at the pattern, figured out what I needed, and we got the right amount. But then I'm looking at the sweater, and then I'm looking at this sweater. And I just keep going back to this sweater. So this is Daydream by Heidi Kiermaier. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I could be way off base. But this is a picture of it. And I just love it. This is like the kind of sweater that I like to wear. And the thing that I really like about this one, let's see if I can get it to show here, is that the neck kind of right, I'm going backwards here, there. The neck kind of right here comes down in a really gentle V. So it's not like a V-neck, but it's got that slight little bit of detail. It's knit in the top down, like knit top down. And I was looking at the pattern and it looks a little more first time sweater knitter friendly than the other ones because I was reading the first little bit and of the instructions on the other ones. And in each case, it kind of within the first line or two was giving an instruction. I was like, I don't know what that is. But so I'm going to see, this is kind of a sagey green color with some brown undertones. I do really like the color that they have here. I would love to find a color like this color to do that in. But if this is the right yarn, I'm going to start with this one. And if this knits, you know, as easy as I think it will, meaning I don't, you know, want to throw myself under a bus or anything, then I think what I'm going to do is try to find some yarn, a sort of quantity yarn in kind of this color or a little darker burgundy and do a second version. So I think that's what I'm going to do, but I got to swatch it out to see if this is the right yarn. So that is what's in my queue. And you know what? Other than more socks, I really don't have anything else in my queue right now that I think I'm going to be able to tackle this month. And I know I'm not going to finish the sweater this month, but I would like to get it on the needles. So that's kind of my big, because I've been, you know, when I started the year, I was like, I'm knitting a sweater and I want to have it done for the fall. And it's mid-July almost. It's almost mid-July. It feels like it's mid-April, but it's mid-July. So I really don't have that much time to start a sweater and finish it in time for like 1st of October, because I would like to have it in time for a trip, because we're pretty sure, 99% sure, it's going to be Edinburgh that we go to. Edinburgh. I always want to say Edinburgh. And I know it's wrong. It's wrong, isn't it? It's Edinburgh. My Scottish ancestors are rolling over in their grave right now. But that'll probably be very late September, early October that we do that. So I would love to have the sweater ready by then to take with me. I'd like it to be off the needles when I take it with me. So that's my goal. So I've got to get that started. And the other thing is I would like to kind of start up a cowl with this. So I've got to find a pattern. I'd like the pattern to have a little bit of detail on it, but I want it to have a nice drape, so I don't want it to have any kind of heavy cabling or anything like that. So I've got to, I'm going to kind of look around, and if I can't find something, I might just do up my own pattern. Yeah. So I might try to start that before the end of the month too. So it smells good. I think I had that in with my lavender soap. Sorry. So that's it for what's in the queue. Yeah, that's it for what's in the queue. So to die for, actually there is not much to tell you. The only dyeing I did last weekend was I did up some Shark Week. I did up a little Shark Week, which I have a huge shark phobia. So Shark Week, I think it's in July now. It used to be in August. Anyway, I did up a little Shark Week action here. And one of those is going for a Cal prize. And the other one I think I might keep for myself. So those aren't in the shop. I am going to do some Shark Week for the shop. I don't think it's going to be in time for Shark Week though. So, because the shop is pretty full right now, and I'm thinking maybe I should hold off putting anything in. I just did a shop update July 1st with a lot of new stuff in it. And I think until some of that starts to move, I'm just going to hold off putting anything new in the shop, unless I don't want to basically use up all of my stash of bear yarn until, I start generating, or moving some stuff in the shop so that I can replenish the bear yarn stash without, digging into my own pocket, and use kind of the proceeds from the shop to do that. So for now, I think I'll probably stop with what I have. I may be putting some stitch markers and stuff in there as well. So I don't think I'll do another shop update until August. So I've extended the Canada 150 coupon until July 31st. It was supposed to end on July 10th. So that goes until July 31st. Gives you 15% off your entire order. And then when you purchase anything from the shop, you will also get sent a 10% off your next order. So those are going to be good for the month. So you're good. So check it out. It's www.lochbriarknits.etsy.com, and I'll put the link somewhere down here. And I think that's it. So I think that's really it for To Die For. Yeah, that's all. There's no shop update other than what we did on July 1st. And so there's lots of product up there right now. There's some new bases. I did an MCM base, which is the merino nylon cashmere blend, which is really nice. And I did, so there's plenty of 75-25 sock base. There's some BFL sock base. There's lace weight. There is a little bit of DK. I haven't done a whole lot of DK yet. And there's some stellina. There's a couple of stellina skeins in there. So check it out. If you do buy anything, once you start knitting it up, send me a picture. I'd love to see what you guys are knitting with the yarn. So have at it and keep me in the loop on that. So I think that's about it. Total randomness. So my father-in-law is coming down for another visit. He bought a house about half an hour away from us that he bought for him to use when he comes down and for us to use whenever we want. It is right on one of the harbors. It's this huge, beautiful lot. It's a nice salt box house. So that's it's got a big deck and double car garage, and I'm sitting there looking dye studio. My husband's sitting there going workshop. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But it's far enough out of the city that it'll make a nice cottage. I mean, it's bigger than our house, but still. I also looked at it and go, writer's retreat. Got all kinds of ideas for the man's house. Anyway, so that closed, and he's coming down Thursday, I think, to kind of get in there and get a look. I've been put in charge of interior decorating, so that makes me happy because I think between me, my husband, and my father-in-law, I'm the more qualified for that. We are gearing up for our August weekend or August week in PEI. And I'm actually looking forward to it this year because I'm not writing while I'm on vacation unless I feel like it. Because I don't have a strict deadline right now. I've got a sort of, I'd like to finish the book by around this time, but this one is one of my self-published books, so I get to set the deadline, and that makes my life much easier. So I'm not going to write when I'm on vacation, unless I feel like it. I am, however, going to do a lot of knitting. So that's the plan, really, just relax, knit. We're taking our bikes up, so I keep wanting to bike the trail that's there. My husband doesn't like to bike as much as I do. He finds his bike uncomfortable, and I'm hoping that he gets that sort of addressed before we go so that he can do more biking, or I'm just going to be biking on my own, and that's fine too, because whatever. I just want to bike. I want to bike all the trails and knit all the socks. I was supposed to take July 28th off, but my boss is going on vacation the first week of August, so we need to get all of our quarter-end reporting out on the 28th. So I had to give up my vacation day, which worked out pretty good actually, because the day that we realized I had to give up my vacation day, the next day was supposed to be sunny and hot. So I said, well, okay, fine, I'll just take Thursday off. And I took a random vacation day. The weather was beautiful. Surprise, surprise. And I had a great time. I ran some errands. I did a lot of knitting. I just kicked back and relaxed, drank some wine on the deck in the sunshine. It was awesome. So I still have a few vacation days I haven't booked yet, so I may just do that. I may take random vacation days. If the weather looks good, just say I'm taking, Tuesday off. I'm taking whatever. So that is about it. I love vacation. Do you know what also I love is Haagen-Dazs ice cream bars, and there's one up in the freezer. And that's random, but I'm going to go eat it. That's not random. If there is an ice cream bar in this house, I will find it and I will eat it, and I don't care who it belongs to. That is a sad and true fact. So that's the end of my randomness. I'll let you guys go. I thank you guys for showing up, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you want to know when the next one is out, just hit the subscribe button and you'll get a notification. And thank you so much for returning viewers for sticking with me. And for new viewers, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the episode. There's 8 other ones for you to check out if you did. And hopefully we'll see you back for the next one. So until then, happy knitting, and we'll see you guys later.